The 5916 is one of the most annoying tanks to fight against if you're a heavy tank driver, so today we're going to be giving it a try. So the primary objective of a Chinese light tank driver should be to be as annoying as possible. Now there's a couple ways you can do this, but for example in this situation where we find ourselves in a bottom tier game on Live Oaks, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start off the game by scouting and maybe putting some shots into the enemies. And the reason I say maybe putting some shots into the enemies is because oftentimes in a 5916 you won't reliably be able to pen the sides of a lot of the heavies that you come up against. So that's like the primary objective. The primary objective is to spot people, maybe get them shot by your teammates if you're on a map that allows that. On a map like Live Oaks, that will happen, assuming my teammates are smart enough to shoot at the enemies. And then once that's done, you get some spotting damage or whatever, you look for opportunities to shoot people in the side. And from there, it's really easy to be extremely annoying to, whoever you're shooting at in the side. Basically, what you want to do is you want to look for people who aren't looking at you, and then you have to take advantage of them. So we just got clicked for 300. That's fine. At least we know the arty is reloading. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. I like to sit right up here to allow myself to spot people like this IS. If I can wait for that stun to go down. Okay. No one's shooting the IS, but at least we know the IS is in the city. And because I did get artied, there we go. We also know that the KV-85 is in the city. Because I got artied and I lost a lot of HP right off the bat, I'm actually just going to fall back. It's not worth the risk of losing more of my HP simply for, one or two shots of damage into the side of a KV-85, who, given the context of my team right now, will actually be looking at me. And so what I have to do is I have to wait for the enemy tanks to get stuck in, and then I'll be able to flank heavy tanks, and heavy tanks are generally pretty slow to respond, and that's when we'll be able to shoot them in the side of the turret and stuff like that. So this IS is probably going to be pushing into the city. I'm going to return to a position where I think I want to be close to the fight, but not so close that I end up dying. So I'm going to wait here, and we're going to wait for the IS to get spotted. Once the IS is spotted, that means he'll be engaging people. And you can see, he's not looking right now. So I can drive forwards, look for a shot on the side of his turret. That one bounces, but it is what it is. We can maybe get one more shot off, good enough, and then we get safe. And this is the job of a light tank. We have to be as annoying as possible. So we're going to put one or two shots into him. Once he responds, we'll look away. And that should give my teammates the opportunities to drive up because, the IS will be focusing down a fucking annoying light tank. So that's the goal. Now this IS is falling back, so I'm going to move forwards. And at this point in time, he's probably focused on the people in front of him. Yeah, he is. You can see he's looking away. So we'll poke, put a shot into him. We'll just do the death by 1,000 cuts thing right there. So he had to fall back. We're basically just overwhelming him at this point. And right now, this is when you would... Oh, that's a KV-85. He's not looking at me, so we can just repeat this process. Look for a shot on his center mass. Good. Then we'll just try to put shots into the plate above his upper front plate right there. Side of the turret, good, now he's dead. Just make sure we get arty safe. And at this point in time, this is where we're going to have a lot of flanking opportunities to shoot at the people in here, especially if I can put myself in the middle of the map. So, it's easier said than done because there's a bunch of enemies who are basically balled up in this small area right here. So if I make one mistake, all 5 of them will be able to shoot at me. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start off by going after the Cromwell, the Eagle 7, and the Jagdpanzer 4. And then once they're dead, we should be able to flank the people in the south. But we first need to kill these guys so we aren't getting shot from all directions. So this Cromwell, I'm in a position of camo. I'm basically going to be camo sniping him for now. And as I see the enemy tanks push into our base, I will start moving to look for shots in them. But, we've got people like this Eagle 7 who aren't paying attention, who we're going to have to try to put shots into if we want to actually be successful this game. So, okay. I mean, I will have to hit those shots if I want to be successful. It's funny how that works. Okay. All right, so this score is actually really close. I'm going to continue to sit here, even though a lot of my shots haven't been penning. Killing myself isn't going to be useful, and just by being here, I can put a lot of pressure on the Cromwell and the Eagle 7, so that's the goal at the very least. And I think we need to just sort of wait it out, because as the enemy team gets onto our cap, that's when we'll have the advantage, because the cap on Live Oaks is just an open field. So ideally they get on cap, to be honest. So there's the Eagle 7. We do have side shots. I'm not really worried about them capping out because we do have that Lorraine to watch that. Just by moving to this position, I'm able to pester this guy, and that's all I have to do. I don't really need to focus on penning my shots even. I just need to pester this guy, because that will sort of suppress him. It will annoy the fuck out of him, that's for sure. And he will probably be scared to move around if he continually gets shot, by a small caliber gun. So that's what we're working on. Now this Type 64, not going to be able to challenge him. Okay, so this is the point in time where a lot of people will try to scout, and generally that's a good thing to do. What I see right now is that I can't really expect to scout for anyone and do well. The other thing I notice is that they've got a Super Pershing who's unspotted. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like the Super Pershing's unspotted. So we know there's a full HP Super Pershing probably sitting on the tracks who just hasn't been spotted all game, and he's been so slow that he hasn't been able to do anything. So we're not going to go poking around just yet. This guy's spamming the map. I don't really care. The question is, what can we do? Okay. This guy, I understand why he's spamming the map, because he's probably getting shot by the Eagle 7, but there's no play that I can reliably make that will be able to help that guy out. I could try to sneak up through here, but not with the Eagle 7. Like, he probably will outspot me, and oh, there's the Super Pershing. Okay. So Super Pershing's someone that I can actually expect to fight against and do very well against, because that thing is so slow that he's almost going to have no chance against me. And if he pushes into this IS, we're just going to snipe him, use the high rate of fire to put a ton of shots into him, hopefully get module damage, because that's what guns like these are good for, and, you know, we'll just see if that kind of thing presents itself. Here we go, put a shot into this guy. I'm going to take one more shot and then we're going to fall back, unless I'm not lit, it seems. So 6 seconds has a 3-second delay. I'm obviously not lit, and that allows me to finish this guy off, ideally. And actually, we're just going to continue to put blind shots into here. Hopefully we can get the kill. So that's the goal. Originally, I was just going to shoot him once or twice and then fall back, because that's what a tank like this should do. Okay. But because he got tracked and because he wasn't swatting me, I could afford to sit there and just take those shots. So at this point, the IS is pretty much dead. The T-26E4 is going to be able to push into him. There's nothing we can do about this. I can't fight a T-26E4 from the front. So the best thing right now, by the looks of it, if you look at what our team is doing, the best thing right now is to help out with the southern push, maybe, from the mid. That would be great, actually. Okay, so these guys are going to go up the south, and what's going to happen is as these guys push the south, they're going to draw the attention of people like the 3045, the Eagle 7, and whoever else is in this area, and that's going to create the opportunity for me to drive in behind people and start to flank people. Now, the other play I can make right now, especially with this challenger who's moving up, is I can go into these bushes, and the goal will just be to spot people. Now, I'm going to get lit by this guy who's looking at me, and I'd rather just not get shot. He just fired. Good, he's dead. Now we're gonna... I think I'll just... Shit. The risk is driving forwards and getting hit by the Super Pershing, or maybe getting clicked by Artie, and it's more likely the Super Pershing will hit me, so I'm gonna take that risk and just try to avoid Artie for now. So there you go. That was worth it. 25 damage from the Artie, I'm totally okay with that. Gonna repair the stun, and now I want to figure out how to flank the T-26E4 and maybe get the kill on the Artie. If I can do that, that would be perfect for a team. And generally, bad players like put a lot of faith in Artie, so by killing the Artie, we'll probably demoralize the entire enemy team. But looks like we've spotted the Artie at the very least. Put a shot into the Eagle 7. This guy bounced. I'm going to run away. This is exactly what I mean by being annoying. I can't expect to win the fight. If you take a look at where my team is right now, we have no support. We've got a Lorraine 40T who's full HP over here. They've got the full HP Super Pershing, the Eagle 7 who's on 500 HP. I can't expect to win against the Eagle 7, so what we're going to do is we're going to play a lot of different angles, and we're just going to try to catch people off guard, shoot them once or twice, maybe spot them for Artie, and then just sort of continue to play that mobility game, because that's exactly what tanks like this should be doing. Let's see. Oh, that was bad. I kind of need these shots to hit, actually. Where's the Super Pershing? There's the Super Pershing. Okay. So this guy clearly snapshots wherever the fuck he goes. I've got this Lorraine, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be bait. I kind of want the Lorraine to clip out the Super Pershing as the Super Pershing chases me down. Unfortunately, the Lorraine isn't hitting his shots, and this guy's looking away, and that's when tanks like this thing start to be useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive forward, and I'm going to focus on damaging this guy's engine if I can get away with it, and I'm also going to go for the tracks, because I will need to do that. Okay. Good, we get the track. Okay, there's no Artie to worry about, and good enough. That guy's dead. Now we can go after that Eagle 7 who gets killed by the Skoda T25. And that's the game. God damn! That was pretty good. That's exactly how light tank games should be played. That was like an actual, like a perfect light tank game as far as I was concerned. Okay, so that was a Master Badge First Class. We got a Fire for Effect, Bruiser, and Confederate medal. In the end, we flanked the Super Pershing, and like I said, with the high rate of fire, we damaged his engine, his fuel tank, and his tracks. It's like, that's kind of what light tanks are designed to do, is you put a lot of shots into people, you damage their modules, and you actually help your teammates kill them, because you can't expect to take on a Super Pershing like in a 5916 and get away with it. So simply by being a distraction and shooting at him while he was distracted as well, we were able to do extremely well in this thing, and that was a 2,198 damage game. Put us top on the team for damage. We came second place on the team for XP. The 12T did even better than I with 1808 damage. How much spotting? He did a lot of spotting, 1451. Pretty sure that was the guy in the mid, so great job to him. I ended up earning 28,000 credits with that one. Didn't fire a lot of gold, and that's, in my opinion, that's how you play the Chinese lights, man. So the goal is to be as annoying as possible. You go after vehicles who really can't do anything about you, and, you know, luckily I didn't get one shot by the Artie at the beginning of the game there, but to be honest, he was lucky to do 300 to me right off the bat anyways, so yeah, that's how the game works. I had a lot of fun recording this one. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.